It does no good to blame the ones who did the wounding. What if we were working, say, in construction, and are you still with me this morning? Let's imagine that we were on a job, and I was messing around, and maybe I was trying to help, and I'm not much of a construction worker, but I remember one of the things that was a no-no on the job, if there's a board with nails in it, you don't leave it on the ground with the nails sticking up, right? So if there's a board with nails in it, Brother Caleb, and maybe you and I are working out there on the job, and well, that's a terrible thought, isn't it? You've worked with my brother. You know what that's like. But we'd be working out there and on the ground, and I leave a board out like that. Well, I've been yelled at that before. When I was a kid, we helped out on construction sites, and they'd yell at me and say, hey, don't do that. Turn it around. Stick the nails in the ground, or take it and throw it in the scrap heap. Don't leave it out there on the ground. Somebody will step on it. Right? And so I leave it on the ground. You walk by, you're not looking, and you walk by, but you expect the site to be clean. You walk by and you get a nail in your foot. Now watch. Now you got a choice. What you're going to do about that? You can stand there and yell at me for leaving a board up. Yes, it's my fault. Huh. But you need to go to the doctor. Make sure you've had a tetanus shot. And why do they do that? I know some of us don't think that's necessary. Why do they give tetanus shots? Because if you get lockjaw, if you get the disease that comes from that, 1 out of 10 people with that disease die. So you could literally die from stepping on a rusty nail. And your family might gather around and at the funeral and they say, oh, Brother Ben was so terrible he left out a nail. But what really killed you? Think about it. Because there's an antidote available. All you had to do was get a shot. Huh? And then you can blame me all you want. But you wouldn't die. Are you hearing me today? There's an antidote available. You need to deal with it because that rusty nail will spread. That poison will spread. And if you've been wounded in your spirit, it does no good to stand there and yell at the person who did the wounding. It does you absolutely no good. You'll stand there and die. Your body will begin to die. Why? Because that bitterness spreads through your body. And you say, but I died of the nail. No, you didn't. You died because of your refusal to deal with it. The wound was not fatal, but the poison that wasn't dealt with was fatal.